If you're asking yourself, should I quit my job? Then this video is for you.
I think he means me.
I asked myself that very same question and did exactly that with no real backup plan. And I'm gonna show you exactly what happened and what I've learned so far and what I would tell you if you came to me and asked, hey Adam, should I quit my job? Working from home is such a beautiful idea that looks like a vacation in our minds. Not having a boss yell at you and not having to deal with coworkers and morning meetings is really enticing for most people. And it's not like you really need any more motivation than that, but first, let's do some really depressing math.
Let's not!
You might want to skip this part because it really does make me sick to my stomach to think about it, and I'm terrible at math, so it's probably not even going to be correct anyway. But let's take a look at some horrifying numbers. Now, I did some calculations, and according to my calculations that are here on this ridiculous sticky note, there are 168 hours in a week. 40 of those you're working. 56 of those, if you're sleeping 8 hours a night, you're sleeping, which means a total of 96 hours. 96 out of the 168 hours, or 57% of the time you are either at work or asleep. The other 72 hours, or 43% of the time, you are living your life. Does that make anybody else depressed?
No, but you do.
And I know it's a bit oversimplified maybe, but it really does suck to think about it in that way. So, what's the alternative? Can you just decide to walk out and quit your job? Can anyone easily make a business working from home? Adam, you did it, right? And if you could do it, then pretty much anyone can, right? Tell us how you did it, Adam. Well, before I answer your question, let me first tell you very quickly about my beautiful experience and sell you on the dream of working from home. I want to show you that it is possible and pull at your heartstrings a bit so that this video is more enjoyable for the dreamers and so that I can get that juicy high watch time that the YouTube algorithm loves.
What a sellout.
I've done many jobs, but for the last 11 years I was working at a digital marketing company, and it was actually a ridiculously good job that most people would give their left leg for. But after sitting in a cubicle for all those years, I just started getting bored and started noticing that despite making more and more money every year, my life wasn't getting better and better. In fact, my work was starting to affect my life. I didn't feel like doing anything on weeknights because I had to work in the morning. I didn't feel like doing things on the weekends because I just worked all week and I just wanted to relax and be left alone on my days off. And Sundays. How crappy are Sundays when you have a job? Sunday nights are so depressing. Do you want to know what might be the best feeling after quitting your job? Sunday nights. Knowing you don't have to go back to work the next morning. That's a really cool feeling.
That would be nice.
So, I did it. I quit my job with no notice and with no real backup plan other than, I'll figure something out. And so far, it actually kind of worked. I'm currently making enough money to pay my bills, all while sleeping in and doing about an hour or two of real work most days, which is awesome.
Lazy.
But here's where we probably lose all the dreamers. But let's get into some real talk. And if you can't take brutal honesty, I would turn this video off now and watch the YouTube gurus tell you how absolutely anybody can make $1,000 a day with no work and no experience. Because if you stick around here, I'm gonna give you the harsh truth. Because in my brutal, honest opinion, if you asked me, hey Adam, should I quit my job? I would say, what, are you crazy? No, most of you should not quit your job. All right, here's where I piss a lot of dreamers off and lose a few fans that I've been working really hard to get on this channel. Working on your own and building a passive income business by yourself is very hard. I think that many of you watching have what it takes to do it, but I also think that many of you watching probably don't have the skills, experience, mindset, and more importantly, the correct lifestyle to be able to make a crazy decision like I did.
You better not be talking to me, pal.
And make sure to remember these things because they're going to be important later in the video. So let's continue with the depressing part, but stick around until the end because I'm going to show you some steps you could take to turn yourself into the person that I think can quit their job and truly live the dream. Let's talk about stress. Going to work can be very stressful, but you know what might be even worse than that? Not being able to pay your bills or not knowing where the next paycheck is going to come from or how much money you're going to make. If you've been in the workforce a long time, you may not remember what the fear and anxiety even feels like. I don't think that it's a good idea to quit your job because it's stressing you out. Just to trade that stress for the stress of uncertainty, which in my opinion is much worse. I've heard that one of the leading causes of divorce is financial stress. So it's just something you should consider before quitting your job.
I don't care about any of that.
Let's talk about work ethic. When you have a job, you have to be there 8 hours a day. So it's easier to just do something while you're there and do your job so that you don't lose it and so that the time goes by faster. But when you work from home, you have to be self-motivated to get things done. Do you know how easy it is to do nothing when you don't have to do anything? It takes a certain type of hustler mentality to keep grinding, even though you know you don't have a boss and coworkers watching you and keeping you honest. Let's talk about stigma. This one's a bit weird and subjective, but I honestly think people will judge you for quitting your stable job, especially if you were making good money. People looked at me with envy and pride when they found out how much money I made. Now when they ask me what I do and I tell them I'm an influencer and a wannabe YouTuber, they smile and back up slowly. This one really isn't a big deal, but I thought it's at least something you should consider. If you're worried about what other people think, you probably shouldn't quit your job.
I don't care about that.
Let's talk about problem solving. When you work with a team, you have lots of minds to help figure out problems and lots of departments to handle the accounting and the IT and the customer support. But when you're working on your own, you need to wear many hats and you need to be able to solve every problem that comes up. Let's say I threw a piece of IKEA furniture in front of you with no directions. Would you throw the pile of parts in the garbage or hire someone to put it together? If you said yes, then maybe you shouldn't build your own business, because that is oftentimes exactly what it feels like. YouTube gurus claim that you can just pick up completed pieces of furniture and relax in them on day one. But people that are actually doing it know that you have to figure out how all the pieces need to be put together, often without any instructions, in order to earn your time relaxing.
Was that a metaphor?
Okay, so let's say that you watched this video up to this point and you thought to yourself, I'm willing to trade one stress for another. I have great work ethic. I don't care what anyone else thinks about me, and I love putting together puzzles and figuring stuff out. Then maybe you are ready to quit your job. But hold on, not so fast. Now, there is no way for me to give you the brutal, honest truth without me coming off kind of pretentious. Like I think I'm better than you and my way is the right way and my thoughts are the right ones. And I genuinely hope it doesn't come off that way. But for me to really explain to you exactly why it was an easy decision for me to quit my job, you have to understand these things. So here we go. Remember back at the beginning of this video when I said that many people don't have the skills, experience, mindset, and more importantly, the lifestyle to make this work? Well, I think it's those things that allowed me to say yes to quitting.
How pretentious.
Before working at my corporate job, I built my own business doing almost the exact same type of things. So I was confident that I could do it again. I made hundreds of connections that could potentially help me succeed in my own business. And I found 99 ways to not make a light bulb work already. I'm okay with trading stresses, motivation, being made fun of, and problem solving. But the absolute #1 factor that aided in my decision was the lifestyle that I built for myself. I recently made what I thought was a very important video on the subject that nobody wanted to watch, but I'll link the full video in the description and I'll give you the short version here. In order to put yourself on a path of financial freedom, you need to increase your earnings and decrease your cost of living and put lots of money away. And that's exactly what I did. I worked for 11 years putting on new accounts and testing ideas to help increase my earnings, like many people do. But here's the most important part. I didn't increase my lifestyle as my earnings increased.
Well, that doesn't sound very fun.
I know, what a weird idea. As I made more money, I didn't buy a better house, better cars, and I didn't grow a family. I actually did the exact opposite. As my earnings increased, I paid off all of my debts. I bought a cheaper house, I decreased my cost of living, and I was able to put more and more money away because of it. I put enough money away to retire with dignity in my 60s. I put enough money away in cash to pay my bills for the next 3 years, which gives me a lot of stress-free time to figure it out. I've built relationships with dozens of other companies that would hire me in a pinch if I needed it. Simply put, I created a lifestyle for myself that made quitting and working from home possible. So, ask me the question again. Hey Adam, should I quit my job? Maybe, but I can't really tell you what to do or how to do it. We're all on our own journeys. I can only tell you what I did and how I did it. Here are the exact steps that I took. I worked hard for many years to increase my earnings. I decreased my cost of living so that it takes a lot less money to make a home-based business work. I used my past experience to build a business doing something that I've proven to myself that I can handle. And probably, and most importantly, I put enough money away to remove a lot of the pressure and anxiety that can definitely come with the decision. And let's be honest, money is usually the point of failure for people taking this step.
You might be right.
So, and let's invite the dreamers back to the video now. If you have all your ducks in a row, it is possible to quit your job and build a passive income business from home. Making your own money and the feeling of your hard work directly resulting in every cent going into your own pocket rather than a big company's is a really cool feeling. I don't watch the clock anymore. I go to bed when I'm tired. I no longer wake up to an alarm clock. I get up when I want, and I work only when I'm feeling inspired. I spend a lot more time with friends and family, and I make money nights, weekends, and weekdays, even when I do absolutely nothing. My income is no longer tied to a 40-hour work week, and I often schedule lunch dates instead of corporate meetings. So I guess in conclusion, I don't think quitting your job is the right move unless you've done the work to give yourself the best chance at success. After all, you don't want to dream of financial freedom to turn into a stressful, hopeless nightmare. I hope at least this gives you some things to think about, and again, I can't and wouldn't tell you what to do with your life. And if you do decide to build your own home-based business, then please subscribe and stick around because we're going to find out legitimate ways to do it on this channel. And if you like this sort of stuff, then please do all those things you're supposed to do to help a channel grow. And I'll see you in the next one.
I never liked him anyway.